Dr. Gross, if you would do the honors.
Yes, thank you very much. As you can see on our agenda tonight, this is our Strategic Plan in Action Celebrating Success Report. Tonight what we have is a series of some of our staff members and some of our students in the area of social studies, and they're going to share with you how they have taken social studies, embedded the 21st century skills, and then share some of the successes in our district. And I'd like to introduce Kathy Fisher. She is our curriculum facilitator in the area of social studies, and then the rest of the team will introduce themselves, I believe. So, Kathy.
Hi. You know what? I'm excited to be here. And I'm excited to be here because I can't wait to take this opportunity to showcase social studies vision, a new vision, okay? The other thing I want to do, and I say it with great sincerity, is I want to thank the leadership, the district leadership and help. They are guiders, they are empowerers, and we need them, and they're part of our team. So, my friends, you've got your very own kit right in front of you. Go ahead and grab that kit. And that's what we call the Social Studies Vision Kit. And notice, there's your kit, and it's about a vision, and there's no eyeglasses in it. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. When we sat around as social studies teachers, we had to take a hard look at ourselves. And we had to say, we're not correcting our old vision. We have a new vision. We have new tools. First tool you see in there is the telescope. That's because when we sat around, we looked at what's the big ideas that transfer from our course to other courses, to their personal lives, and to their future. The second one that, math not so much, the second one that you see in there, nervous, my friends, that you see in there is the magnifying glass. And in the magnifying glass, I want you to know, in every one of our courses, we have focused on the standards, the 21st century skills, and the literacy skills. And you know what? Not only have teachers focusing on those, but the students are too. They're a clear vision of what the expectation is in that class. The the one that you see right there, is the compass. We walk together. We know where we're going. We've got a target. The target is student growth. We know exactly. We have clear eyes. We have full hearts. You'll see it tonight. And we absolutely know we can't lose. So here we are, showcasing.
Good evening. I am Kathy Magnus, and I teach 8th grade history at Carl Ben Eielson. And with me, I have Christy Torgerson and Michaela Doctor. And one of the things that we have been working on this year, as we take out and look at the big ideas and incorporate the other stuff in, as you look at the screen, we have been starting our lessons with skills. And this is an example of one of them.
As she said, I'm Christy Torgerson.
And I'm Michaela Doctor.
We're 8th graders.
Skills lessons are fun activities that include primary sources that help you answer the questions provided.
The questions range from easy, L1 to L2, which you can find most answers from discussion or in the primary source. L3 questions are harder, and you have to use prior knowledge to answer them. You have to use synthesis to answer the questions correctly.
Skills lessons help us learn more than just reading out of a textbook. As the old saying goes, a picture says 1,000 words.
And you can see that the questions are being asked at the bottom, and Christy's just going to ask all of you to answer the first couple of L1 questions.
So this is a picture of a cartoon forcing the slavery down the throat of a free soiler, and it's about bleeding Kansas and popular sovereignty. So, who is being shoved down the man's throat in this cartoon? Yes. Whose throat is the man being shoved down in this cartoon? The free soiler, yes.
And what this does is it leads into a lot of great discussion for us to have. So instead of starting our lessons by reading something, we're often looking and trying to figure out what we know. The second is this.
This is the John Brown cartoon, and so more like L2 questions would be compare and contrast the people portrayed on the left and the right of John. So then like who's on each side. And then what is the purpose of this image?
The students answer the questions in class. It leads to discussion of what we're doing, and then it provides an interest for them to move on. We use a lot of political cartoons, drawings, graphs, charts, maps, all of those things that we weren't using in the past. And so now when they want to read, this makes them want to read more about John Brown and what he does.
All right, hello, my name is Nora Beckerman, and I have a poster here today. I am a student at South High, and in Western Civ this year, we had a particular project that stood out to me more than any of the others did. We worked on a World War I project that we would first present to our teachers, and then further along the way, we would present it to some veterans. So the process of making this poster was more challenging than most of our other projects because it makes you think more in depth about what you're learning. You need to take the facts that you're reading and you need to find an image to go with it. And through this project, my group and I learned a lot more than I ever expected us to. We learned, first of all, how to work in a group, how to assign and take on the leadership roles that we needed. We also learned a lot more research skills that we did not have before, and public speaking skills that are obviously coming in handy. Right here we have the poster that we worked on. We have different images from the war, some silhouettes of soldiers. You can also see a picture of Europe up in the corner of what it looked like before the war actually happened.
I am Michelle's U.S. history teacher at Davies High School. And as you can see on the board here, one of the things that we have put together over the course of the year is what we call our electronic portfolio. And it's all of her materials that she has used in her course this year, plus her skills that she will talk to you guys about right now.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I go to Davies High School, and I'm in 11th grade. And I think as a student, it's important to not feel overwhelmed by stuff like memorization and things like that. And I think that's really helped me in this class is we don't just memorize and do stuff where we feel overwhelmed. We do skills which help us learn, and it makes it fun to learn because you don't want to walk into a classroom where you feel overwhelmed and you don't feel like you want to be there because you don't want to learn, but we want to learn every day when we walk in. And a lot of the skills we've used have just been skills that have helped me in all my other classes as well. So for example, one of the skills that we have been working on is called periodization, which is where you would take something in history and just sum it up and figure out which time period it would fit into. And we do a lot of group work, which helps you work as not as individuals, but with people. And I normally don't like group projects because I always feel like I'm doing everything on my own, and that's not very fun. But, you know, the way he assigns it is you work with your friends and you work with people who you know are going to help you and push you. And I like going to the class because I feel like every day I'm learning something. We learn other skills such as continuity and change, which is where you kind of just go in patterns of things and you go from a flow to a flow about subjects. And it's just really nice to be able to have skills that you can learn with and have knowledge to back it up at the end of the day. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alexis Vanette. I'm from Fargo North High School, and I'm a senior this year. And I'm going to be talking to you guys about my AP Government class that I'm a part of this year. And it's been so much fun. And specifically, we just did this project where we got together with like groups of 3 or 4 people, and we thought of a problem that we were facing in maybe the Fargo area or statewide that we could address. So we made like a 2-minute long video, and we got to send these videos through YouTube to Representative Boucher. And so he got to watch these, and he came to our class 2 days later, and we got to present a solution to our problem. And my group, just really briefly, we talked about the need for like a community center for high school students for after school to do homework, have like club meetings, have computers, tutors, just stuff like that. So we got to kind of put a business plan forward for him and present it to him, and we were all competing for $250,000. It was kind of just, it was really fun. We actually got second place in my class, but it was a lot of fun, and learned how to work with other people. We were also busy, and it was good for to kind of figure out how to do that, work together, and put together something that could actually be applied in real life. So it was really cool that we actually had a representative come in and listen to what we as students had to say. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I actually want to continue with government studies when I go to college next year. So it's my favorite class. I love it. So thank you very much.
So my name is Steve Rell, and I teach at Davies High School. This is Drew McLean. She is a student there in my AP Gov and my Econ class. And we went very deep into the skills last semester, second quarter, of which Drew was a part of. Really heavy into collaboration, communication, critical thinking. And I explained it to my students in such a way that it's like driving a car. I grew up in Wapton. I learned to drive my car in Wapton. And the tool I used was Wapton in order to learn the skill, which was driving. And now I can drive in Fargo, I can drive in Minneapolis, I can drive in Chicago, so that skill is transferable. And when I explained it that way, the students finally were like, oh, that's why we're learning the skills. And so the content is merely just the tool that we use in order to learn that skill. And Drew is going to talk a little bit about the skills.
Thanks, Mr. Rill. So I'm Drew, and I go to Davies. I'm a senior this year, and I participated in a project last semester. I had the opportunity to be the supervising analyst for a big group project where we worked as a class to put together a CPI index, which was really challenging. But I think some of the most important things I've learned from it, and my classmates as well, just through discussion in class and outside of class, was the critical thinking piece of it. I had a job at Noodles and Company, and it's pretty basic. You know, I serve the food, I ring everyone up, and what I saw aligned in my job and in Mr. Rell's class was that I wasn't sure when I was supposed to ask a manager how to do something and when I was supposed to go and try and figure it out on my own. And I just thought that the project that we did in class was a really great safe space to say, maybe to figure that out. And I think if we could start that a lot sooner, by the time we all graduated high school, I mean, as a young person about to truly enter the workforce, I think that would just be really beneficial. Thank you.
Well, you know what? You can see it. It's not just one grade, it's not just one teacher, it's across the board. And in the back of your little slips right there, I invite you, I hope that you're so curious that you're like, oh, I can hardly wait for this meeting to get over, I want to get home, I want to start looking at that social studies webpage, and thank you for your time. Honestly, we are clear eyes. We do have a great vision, and I thank you for it.